Y'all, welcome back to the Holy Mess Express. I'm Olivia.
I'm Devin.
And I'm Catherine.
We're just three girls who don't have it all together, not even close. Around here, nothing's too messy, too heavy, or too random. We'll laugh until we snort, cry when it gets real, and keep pulling each other back to Jesus through it all. So grab your coffee, sweet tea, Alani, whatever you got, and hop on board, and let's ride this holy mess of life together. We're all together. We're super excited because Devin's in town. And we're also talking about how this is different. It's different because we normally are looking at each other through a screen, but now we actually get live conversation. So I'm very excited. We're also going to try not to be super loud because I'm not allowed to some like chat for them. I'm sorry. Guys, it's falling out over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the Holy Mess portion.
I had a holy mess this week. It's short. Normally I said I talk for hours about my holy mess, but I put travel down the other night. I throw my laundry out the door, like outside the door, when I went to bed. And I picked it all up and I put it in the washing machine. And I was carrying it down the stairs and I just slipped down the stairs on it. I slipped on the laundry or what down, boom, 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 boom. And now my butt tweak is black and white. A night she'd gone to bed early and I was like, man, I had a night to myself. Spencer was working nights. And when you fall down the stairs and you sit there at the bottom, you're like, I was trying to cross with the laundry because I was in so much pain.
Oh no, like it actually hurt.
It hurt so bad. Earlier when you said I fell down the stairs, literally, I forgot you told me that you fell out the stairs. But
I'm so sorry that it hurt. Do you not look camera?
no, look at the outside one. That one, I know. I was feeling that always get it always knows. And she wasn't. Anyways,
Yeah. So we're calling this like a girls episode. We put like a little chat. What's it called? A question box on Instagram, and we asked people, and on Facebook, because like people were able to also answer on Facebook. It's a new option now, and we just were like, "Hey, what is the biggest struggle being a girl when you're still trying to follow Jesus?" And so we got some submissions that we really want to talk about. They all kind of flow together, and they all kind of stem from each other. So that was really cool to see, and it was all struggles that we have. We're just gonna kind of hit on those a little bit today, just so you don't feel alone in this and know that the Bible does speak on these topics. And still, like, I love how one girl's was my perspective gets clouded sometimes. Like, it's a I get to versus an I have to, I'm supposed to versus I'm expected to. And I love that because it's like sometimes I just do things because I'm like, this is what I have to do. It's not necessarily what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes back to who Jesus was. Like, the more we pursue Jesus and the more we become like him, that's when the perspective starts to shift. The I get to part is I get to share like how to overcome that struggle, or I don't know. It's not that it's not that I have to go. It's that I get to fix.
I'm gonna bring it back to like my quiet time because that's what I'm holding strong to for the last few weeks. And I did not have a good night's of sleep this week, but I got to wake up.
Yeah.
I was hoping and able to get out of my bed and go do my life freely without having to hide something. You know, like in this world to really go for such.
That's that perspective.
But that's digging deep. Like, we live in America.
So when your perspective starts getting cloudy, go to those people that you know are going to help you see how Jesus sees it. They're not going to turn you and keep out in that perspective. I never thought about that. Like the quiet time, like it's pretty hard for me to get up. Because I think who you surround yourself with. I feel like that's one of the things you have to remember.
I think that it's important, like you said, to choose who you go to with the things because yes, they can be like, that is a struggle, but let me show you.
Yeah.
Because some people can really dig you into that. But some people, and you can choose them wisely, they'll be like, that really does seem. But we got this.
Yeah.
And I feel like only you and you have gotten really good at being like, but I don't want to complain about it.
Yes.
And I feel like even all of us are like, it's okay to feel this way.
Yeah.
All do try and point ourselves back. Like giving space to vent, but then pointing back to, I think we got that out. So I think it's also the quick, we don't let each other dwell in it. I'm so glad you got that off your chest, but now it's in the chat.
And like, give yourself grace. Like, give yourself the space to feel. Like, it's okay that you feel that way. Which kind of goes into a little bit of the comparison. We got the comparison a lot. Like, that is a huge struggle as a girl who's trying to follow Jesus.
So I think we got a lot of things about comparison just in general. But I feel like comparison is something I've always struggled with, even when I was little, just like body image and what do I have versus what do my friends have. I don't know. I feel like where I grew up is a pretty affluent area. So we always had stuff. I don't know. So like growing up, I always compared myself to what do other people have? What do other people look like? Why don't I look like this? Same in college, even now, but I was just telling them, you always compare yourself to people, but you never actually know what's going on in their heart or in their life. Um, and yeah, I've had friends before where I've really compared myself to their life. Like, oh, they have it all together. They have this great house. They have this great life. Everything is perfect in their life. Like, I want my life to look like that. And then come to find out they're having struggles in their family, in their marriage, and whatever it is, and their friendships. And then I realized I don't want to be that person's shoes.
Right.
You might have all these things, but I don't want to be in your shoes. So why do I waste all this time comparing myself to you when I have great things in my life too? But a verse that I want to read is Proverbs 14:30. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. And I think when I've been in seasons of comparison, it does drain. Like that sucks the joy out of you. And you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, and you see these people's highlights, and it really does suck the joy out of your life. And it's like comparison is the thief of joy. And you always think the grass is greener, and it really never is. Anytime or even that thing of like, I've finally gotten what I wanted, and I'm still now comparing myself to the next thing.
Yeah.
So once you find that peace with God and with what you have and with what you've been given, that's peace. It's true peace. And then, yeah, that's such a good reminder. It really is. Because comparison in every aspect of life, it comes up. And I also had to remind myself that, like, no one else is living my exact life. What I can do in my shoes, only my shoes, is in my control. No one else's. So why compare myself to other people when I have no control over their life? So what I have control over is what I can compare to.
Last year, I got to gym year at school. And in my mind, I was like, everybody wants to be a teacher. You're like, that's where you want to be. And so when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, here it is. You and Grace were on maternity leave. I remember one of my friends called me, like, they were like, congratulations. I was like, I don't deserve this. Like, people didn't vote for it. Like, I don't know. I just felt it was like a weird situation.
Yeah.
And then I could just sense like people felt a certain way about it because of the way they felt was just given. And like, it completely like stole my joy of that award in the moment. And it was hard. Like, it was like, I don't deserve this. Like, because I was comparing, like, at this point that year, I was not my best self. And one of my friends, Grace, she was like, this is Satan trying to steal your joy. She was like, let yourself be happy because you're comparing yourself to other people. But you have to understand that that's a different reason. And I think that when I got that award, I got to that step that I thought was end all be all. And this really is not that great because once you get an award, other people get jealous, and then you feel this weird feeling, and it shows.
Some say we're comparison too. You're comparing yourself to people, but people are comparing themselves to you.
Right.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
you get a false sense of what it's like.
Yeah.
Like, you had a false sense of how it was supposed to feel to get that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you finally got it, and you're like, oh gosh.
No, some of my close friends never say congratulations. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
So be careful what you compare yourself to because you don't know if when you're in those shoes, you're
actually going to be happy. And then, like, I'm a completely different person now than I was a year ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like if this had happened a year ago, it'd be like, okay, well, I'm secure. Like, all the glory wasn't going to me. It goes to God. Like, anything that you do is supposed to be. And so then the glory goes back to Him. And that's where the comparing kind of is like, no, I'm so happy for you. Flip side, when my best friends got it this year, and it's like, I felt even more joy for her getting that than I did last year when I was.
Yeah.
And it was just like, gosh. Like,
because you're at peace with who you are.
Yeah.
Because God is working in your life, and you have that joy.
And like, I never want her to feel like she didn't. I don't know. It's one of those things of like,
It's a different.
It is. It goes back to that. And then one of the things that we had said, we had another listener put us in, and y'all, I feel like I could type this, but she was like, plastic surgery, Botox, lip filler, fake tan, fake nails, being natural and fun and beautiful is hard. 100%. I was like, I'll take that one because I could have written that one, and y'all feel free to turn it on this. But I grew up a big tomboy. Like, if I look back at pictures of myself, I'm like, Mom, why do I have gym shorts on? My dad took me to the hairdresser in the mall, and I had long hair at 6 days, and he got chopped here. So then I tried to fix it, and so I would like put my hair up like this with a bob. I look like a little kid. Anyways, I don't know what she was doing. No makeup, and like I don't know. So then it was like, ew. I feel like I look at those pictures. I'm like, ew. What in the world? I need to go look at them again now and see what I think. But I think I would be so far from that, like tomboy and whatever, that I would do anything. Like my mom, she was like, make sure you wear moisturizer, make sure you're like when I was younger, and I was like, now I'm good. Now I'm like, I wish that I would have listened to my mom.
No, I need to listen. I need to hop on that train.
But it's like I have considered, like I remember after having Jace, I think, I was like, okay, we gotta start saving for this mommy. Even before I was like, I know we got one more, but like I need to start saving for this mommy makeover. Like I love mine. Boobs on it, I love my chest, just my belly wrapped. Then I started like, I have no lips. Like all the times I was like, I have no lips. Then when Devin told me her lips were natural, I was like, excuse me. See? But I'm like, Devin, do you have lip color? She's like, oh, no. She's like, I don't.
I'm actually ridiculous.
She said, I don't. Yeah, y'all go zoom in on her lips. Yeah, yeah. But it's like, I don't think any of those things are wrong. Okay, because we all fit tan. We all like fake nails. Okay. I think feeling pretty is okay. Like if that makes you feel good, okay. But when that becomes your identity, I have never had Botox before, obviously. I want to be like, we know. Like if I were to get Botox and like it starts drooping or whatever it does, and I am like I look so ugly, I can't move, like, and I let that paralyze me. I think that's when it starts. Yeah.
And also, like, I've thought about Botox before too. And, like, they say do it in your 20s. Women go. But as I've, like, started talking more about finances and stuff, and like, am I going to really spend $500?
Like, when Caleb was falling, people were going, like, what is she doing? Like, why is she getting her nails done when her husband's on? Why is she
It's a good
getting wax when her husband's on? Why is she no tan? I was using those things to fulfill him being gone. Like,
yeah.
And I wanted to look good for him, like when I sent him a picture and stuff, which is okay. Okay, I'm good now because I feel beautiful and like whatever. But really, I should have been.
When it becomes a mask for something that you haven't dealt with internally, then it becomes.
And so I found a verse that went with this one. It was 1 Peter. It's 1 Peter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 2. When they see the purity and reverence of your lives, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfeigned beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. For this is the way the holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adore themselves. I was saying during the deployment is I would want people to think I look put together. But I don't want you to know that I'm in my bedroom crying every night. Like, I want you to think, oh, look at her. Like, she looks good. She is strong. I thought, okay, if I look even better than I did when he was gone or when he was here, they're going to be like, that girl's got it. Now, y'all got to like, now the bag under your eyes, you might look. I just want this first because people should have looked at me and been like, she has it all together because of the way that she's looking. Hey, she's got it all together because she's dependent on Jesus during this time. That's where it all comes together. Do I think Botox, like the Bible bans Botox? No. I don't think so. I also feel like if you're struggling, like what you were saying, with finding your natural beauty, then maybe you should not necessarily jump into Botox right off. Yeah. Like, because then you're trying to fix something. Like, you've got to learn pour into verses like this. We talk about ChatGPT a lot. And while you don't let it like be the Holy Spirit for you, I think that like anything, you can use it for good. And I don't know, what are some verses that I can read from the Bible that will help me with my body? And like that can truly be a tool. Like it's a tool. And you have to be careful with it, not to let it like be
you're always back it up.
Yeah, always back it up.
Go look. Just like a preacher would tell you on Sunday morning.
Right.
Go back up, look at it yourself, but like just like ChatGPT, go dig deeper yourself. It can give you that first verse, but keep digging.
All right. So the next little question that we got was slowing down enough to take my worries to the Lord. And then it was kind of like even deeper part of that was this person's on fire for Jesus. They are fire. They feel the fire, and they're having a hard time. Like their friends aren't necessarily on the same path as them, and so it's like, hey, what can I do to make sure I keep that fire? Like they're they they're worrying about losing that fire because of the people that they're surrounding themselves with, and they don't want that to happen. And so it's like help of finding those people that that will have that same fire and keep you motivated. But also, what do you do with those people that don't? We're all kind of trying to figure that out.
Yes, well, yeah, it is because in different seasons of your life, sometimes you feel like you can not spend as much time with certain.
Yeah.
Or when you leave somewhere and you're like, I didn't feel fulfilled after that.
Yeah.
And like sometimes like you can walk that tightrope. Like sometimes you do feel fulfilled, and sometimes you don't. And then you're like, is the Lord speaking to me? Like, is He asking me to like kind of pull away a little bit, or is He? I don't know. So it's also we have to listen to the Lord speaking to us because if you get a little glimpse of, I don't think you should be doing that, or I don't think you should be with those people. I think He's very truthful when He speaks to you.
Yeah.
And if that's where your heart is, then maybe you should take it. And I think too, because I wasn't a Christian in public college, became strong in my faith. I was living in my sorority house at a big college, like it was the typical, literally like movie college experience, Yes. But I loved being friends with all these girls still, even though they weren't believers or weren't walking with the Lord. But like me and my very best friend in the sorority house, we kind of became strong in our faith at the same time. And we would be getting ready to go out on Saturdays or whatever. And like people would ask us questions about our faith because they could tell that we were living differently and like we weren't separating ourselves from them. We were just acting different in the things. So we would still go out, we would still go to the frats, we would still go to the mixers and stuff, but we wouldn't drink. Like we weren't 21, so we weren't drinking. We weren't like we weren't going with guys and all this stuff. And I've always heard like you can't argue with the changed life. So our testimony was the fact that we were now living differently. That's so big. And we were still friends with these people, but we were living differently. And I think sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and it was hard for me to straight up share the gospel with these people. And I was always still not good at that. Yeah. But if I can live differently from these people, like the Lord's going to work in their heart and show them. Hey, and I remember having one time when my friend in college checked me, she was like, I just want to be able to find the joy that you find in things. And I was like, it's really Jesus. It's not me. So I'm like, and you can have that too. And I just think when you live, He's for everybody. So like being on fire and showing people that, they're going to want to follow.
They're going to want to follow that change.
And you don't have to sit there and judge them for what they're doing. Do it with them, but do it with Jesus. Yes. Like do the stuff that you're still doing with them.
And you had that best friend, so y'all did that together.
Y'all get plugged in, find the Bible study, find the girls group, message us on Instagram, literally just hype on it. Like, yeah. Also, I just want to talk about how, like, someone's past, like my past, people might look at me and be like, oh, she's like on fire for Jesus right now. I am, man. I don't want to proclaim to their dogs. I'm really loving every second I get to spend with the Lord in the mornings. And I think sometimes I can get scared to be like, wow, my past doesn't really show what a people should know today. I feel like it's just like, don't get scared of your past. It can show the fire that you're feeling right now. Because any day, you can be sinning one day and then the next day, pick up the Bible, ready, and He's ready for you. And we're ready to welcome.
Exactly. I love that. And I think that this listener had already kind of figured it out of slowing down enough to take my worries to the Lord. Like, I think that's all you can do is pray that God sends you those people that will help keep that fire and pray that He shows you, do you need that season to pull back? And so one verse that I actually wrote down this week and I sent it to them was, come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is something that I've been struggling with too because of some friends that I've had to reevaluate the way I feel around them. Just a lot of different things. And it goes back to once I started praying and 2 chairs that I talk about all the time. I'm right here. he sits here. Some days you can't see, but there's a couch behind you. I'm there, and I'm like tilted towards the side talking to him. And I remember one day just like, what do I do about this? What do I do about this friendship? Like, it hurts. He has shown me through different situations what to do through that. So I think that if this is something that is a burden to you and that is making you weary, he's small.
He's gonna tell you.
He will.
He will. And just sometimes it's like, wow, he's talking to me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
It's really it's humbling.
Yeah.
Because he'll start talking to you when you don't expect it.
Yes. But not being able to step away from being mom and wife to have that alone time to sister.
I have just like really enjoyed my morning times that I've set aside. This week I've stayed consistent for a while, but this week Lainey was going through sleep regression and it's the very time. And I think that tripped some of it all. Tripped all the toll that it was taking on me.
Right.
And he came upstairs and I was like, why didn't you wake me up? Because I let him have his alarm and like we wake up together and we go do our devotions downstairs. And I woke up naturally at 6:30 and was like, oh, why didn't you wake me up? But I was still able to get into work.
Yeah.
In the bed. Okay, usually I get up, drink my coffee, have this in front of me, do what I want to with quiet time. But I was still motivated to get the word in because I'm seeing the difference that it has made in my parenting, in my relationship, in everything. I have just been so much better throughout the day, starting with the word. And even though it was like maybe 15 minutes instead of 30 to 45, I still got the word in and it becomes a routine. I've heard that in the past when I was like trying to pick up like a diet or something, it takes 2 weeks to like get into a routine. Give yourself 2 weeks, get in the word when you know you're going to have the time. Most of the time it's the morning because at night we are, I don't know about me, I'm busted up in the night.
I don't think it's okay if you are a night owl. Yes. Like that, I used to be a huge night owl, and that's when I would get my best time in. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's just you got to find that sliver of time that works best for you. Yeah. I really do. Like you have to. It's a sacrifice. So, one, I think having insecurities that push you away from Jesus, but still clinging that God's word is true. I think clinging to God's word, we need insecurities that are pushing you away, and literally just praying verses over that. Mm-hmm. Praying verses over those insecurities, praying verses over those, and recognizing what's pushing you away, and just clinging to Jesus. And like what we said with the chat GPT. So these are my insecurities. This is where I feel like I'm failing myself and failing Jesus. What scripture do I need to pray over? And just bring it to the Lord. So what do we want to leave people with this week? So just what's one encouragement or scripture that we want to, when you said, we had like first started calling friends, but we were starting sleeping, and what did you say? You're like, everything's always going to be different for us because we're Christians. We were like talking, and you literally hit everything. Your money's going to look different because you're a Christian. Your priorities are going to look different because you're a Christian. Your time is always going to be sacrificed because you give Sundays to the Lord. But I think that understanding that these struggles are real life, because this is not our home. So it's going to be a constant struggle of overcoming the struggles of a place that's not our home. Like, I think this is a great example. Chapel is not in her home, but she's doing so great. Like, I know she's still keeping her normal routine. She's trying to keep her routine, but she's not in her home. And if this isn't where she's supposed to be. Like, I want her to feel loved here, and I want her to be able to come here and make it feel like her home. But at the end of the day, like, she's going to go home, and you're going to be like, everything's like, she's great. She's in her home. But it's like us as Christians, like, we're not meant to belong here. Like, our hope is in heaven. And so I think if we just walk away this week knowing that no matter your girlness, your girl struggles, he still calls you chosen. He still calls you loved. And you're still ultimately at the end of the day his. Yes. And we're happy to be here for you guys through your struggles, because we have struggles day in and day out. But we want to continue to hear from you guys, because you guys sharing your struggles help us talk through some of our own. Another good thing is like really finding a place where you feel like a Bible study or somewhere you can dive into and like have these conversations with people, because it opens up things in your heart that you might not have looked at before, and it helps you process them. Yeah, like getting them out there
something that you say could also help someone that group too. So goodness in community.
At the end of this episode, to comment, like either through Spotify or YouTube or Apple Podcasts, just let us know like how you are overcoming your struggles that you have, or ways that we can help, versus that you need help finding all that stuff. So we are blogging on Facebook and Instagram. And I got in trouble the other day because we are videoing our podcast now. I was like, we couldn't have a TikTok and just put like our little clips up there. But right now we are just on Facebook and Instagram. We love you guys. And just remember that no matter your mess, you're still his.